Perhaps the one thing woodworkers hate even more than finishing, refinishing. Are there any products out there that will make future repairs a little bit less aggravating? I think so. Stay tuned. I made this table about 3 or 4 years ago. It was a really fun build because I was able to customize it to fit this really oddly curved wall. The wall was like this when we bought the house. I wouldn't have designed that. The front and rear aprons are bent laminations that follow the curve of the wall, as does the tabletop. So we have a table that we could butt up right against the wall. Sounds great. Happy ending, right? No. You see, last year our dear sweet cat Timmy wasn't here in the end. So my wife and I decided, let's let him enjoy his last few months, jump on things he normally wouldn't be allowed to without us pesky humans busting his little fuzzy balls every time he turned around. And at one point he decides to make this tabletop his favorite spot in the house. And one time, after a night of heavy drinking, no doubt, he throws up all over the table, and we didn't discover it until about a full day later. So unless you have a really thick film finish, which in my opinion looks worse than cat vomit, 24 hours of puke exposure, it's gonna leave a mark. Is it gonna be hard to fix? I don't think so. Let's bring it to the shop and we'll get this guy looking good as new. So we're in the garage, and under the bright shop lights, it's a bit worse than I realized. We have two main areas of damage here and on the right-hand side of the table, but there's also small spots scattered throughout the surface. Now, if we just had a few small areas, we might be able to get away with spot repairing them, but with this much damage spread throughout, it's going to be easier to just sand down the whole piece and start almost from scratch. Now, a lot of manufacturers will tell you how easy it is to spot repair their finish, which may be true, but the thing is, you do the repair, then it doesn't match the surrounding area. It's sort of like touching up a paint job on a wall. You put some paint on the wall, it never quite matches because the area around it over the years has developed a patina. Same thing here. Now, this table was finished with Osmo Top Oil. It's my usual finish. Unlike poly, it doesn't build up a thick film, so a light sanding should get us where we want to be to start the refinishing process. Now, I'm hoping that since we're avoiding heavy sanding, that I'll be able to maintain this chamfer that goes around the perimeter, and hopefully it stays nice and crisp and I don't have to do it again. All right, the random orbital sander is set up with 180 sandpaper. I'll give it a few passes. I'll go nice and slow. I won't push down on the sander. I'll be nice and methodical about it. After a couple of passes, I'll take a look, see if we have to drop down to 150 sandpaper, but I'm hoping 180 will do the trick. It looks like the 180 did a really nice job of getting us down to a fresh surface. I'm going to wipe it down with odorless mineral spirits. Odorless. Imagine what the non-odorless one smells like. I'm going to wipe it down with mineral spirits, see if anything pops up that I'm not happy with. And if all looks good, I'll move on to 220, 320, and finally 400. Mineral spirits is great. Any glue squeeze out or stains that you normally wouldn't see until after you applied finish will pop out when you apply mineral spirits. Everything looks good, so I'm going to move on to the higher grits once this flashes off. One thing I like to do in between grits is put the disc on a hand pad. That way I can go with the grain and get rid of any pigtails that might happen due to the orbital sander. Our surface is nice and smooth, defect free. It should build up pretty quickly because there's still some finish below the surface of the wood from when we finished it a few years ago. A large flat area like this, I like to use an old credit card or an old gift card. This is Olive Garden, because I love authentic Italian food. I will use this to spread it around. It makes things go a lot quicker. Oh, almost forgot one quick thing. I like to take the gift card or the credit card and break the edges on an old piece of sandpaper, because if there's a sharp nib on the gift card, as you're applying the finish, it's going to scratch up the wood. So the whole tabletop has been hit with finish. I'm now going to use a white Scotch-Brite pad to buff it in just for a few minutes, and then I'll wipe off the excess with a blue shop towel. All right, and first coat is done. One thing I love about these hardwax oils, whether it's Osmo, Rubio Monocoat, whatever, is that even if you're in a dusty environment, dust really isn't an issue. Any dust that settles on this between now and 8 hours from now will wipe right off. Not an issue. All right, so let's give this 8 hours. We'll come back and do another coat. Later that evening, after moving the piece from my 52-degree garage to my much warmer family room, I applied a second coat of finish. And finally, the following morning, I applied the third and last coat of top oil, applied in the same manner as the first and second coats. And with the last coat of finish dry, our work here is done. Because we didn't have to remove layers of polyurethane, just needed a light sanding, 3 coats of a surefire finish, and we're good as new. And depending on the look you're going for, 2 coats, maybe even 1 coat will give you the results you're after. But as you can see, with each additional coat, we got a little richer color and a little bit more gloss. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Timmy, who, despite the vomiting, gave our family 17 years of beautiful companionship. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll answer each and every one. Please like and subscribe. You know the deal. And until the next video, be well and take care.